Good morning, hope everyone is well. Why Avraham? Billions of people around the world, Jews, Christians, Muslims, all trace our stories back to this one character that literally changed the world as we know it. But who was he? Open up the Torah story and you see his parents and his father listed and his siblings and their wives, and that's the end of chapter 11. And all of a sudden, beginning of chapter 12, in the first book of the Torah, book of Bereshit, God speaks to him. Who was he? Why was he worthy of being spoken to? And why was he worthy of being the founder of a new world order, of a new way of thinking and even a new way of doing things? We don't know. That's the answer. If you open the Torah, we don't know. There's no reason given whatsoever. So we turn to our tradition, and in our tradition, the rabbis have different opinions as to what made him unique. One has him standing up to the rigid authority figure of his time, challenging his authority. In the past, leaders have imagined that they were gods. And the rabbis have the leaders saying, well, if I wanted to, I could make the sun rise in the west and set in the east. And Avraham challenged that sense of leaders being mini gods. You're not a god, you're a person. Another group of rabbis has Avraham challenging the religious order. You're worshipping an idol. An idol can't protect itself, let alone protect you. Why don't you worship the one true God? Why are you bowing down to a stone? And a third group have Avraham responding to a question. And they write that he saw a palace in flames. And the palace here is a metaphor for the world that we live in. And Avraham said, well, if it's in flames, there must be an owner for this palace. Somebody must own this. Somebody must control the world. And God said, it's me. And Avraham has a question. If your world's on fire, if things are chaotic, if life has gone crazy, if evil is burning the world, then if you're in control of that world, why don't you, God, stop it? And so Jewish story begins not with answers of how the world came about, answering those questions, but with a different perspective. It begins not with an answer, but with a question. How is it that this world is so chaotic? And the answer that Avraham provides and begins to develop a new way of thinking is it is our responsibility. We don't accept the world for the way it is. We don't bow our head in silence, wipe away the tears and say, what can we do? The world is the way it is. We don't believe in that. Jewish people believe there's a problem. We must solve it. When the land of Israel became a reality, there was a problem. It's the Middle East. There isn't much rain. So you create systems to produce food that you can use tiny amounts of water to produce food that can feed a population. When other problems came along, you found solutions to that. The Jewish attitude isn't to go silent, isn't to complain, but it's to find solutions and to recognize that it is our responsibility, working together with God to solve the problem. Of course, God could solve the problems, but where would that leave us? We must be bothered by the evil in the world. It must disturb our sleep, bother our rest. And then once we are bothered, once we are aware of the people's pain and suffering, we have to do everything we can to end the suffering and make the world a happier place. Have a good day.